"Why is your nose such a funny colour?" asked Barnaby the next day. "Most bears' noses are black or dark brown, like mine." "It's a family thing," replied Baby Ted, his cold quite better. "All of us have toffee-coloured noses. You should see Cousin Teddington. He's more toffee-nosed than even Papa." "I didn't know you had a cousin," said Barnaby, peering closely at Baby Ted's face. "He's not my cousin. He's Papa's cousin. He's coming to stay with us. But," Baby Ted's voice became a whisper, "he's not a bear at all. He's a sheep." Barnaby's mouth dropped open as far as it would go. "Don't be so silly," he said at last. "You're a bear. Bears can't have cousins who are sheep." "I've heard Papa telling Mamma that his cousin is a sheep," said Baby Ted, "and he's an opera singer as well." "How can a sheep be an opera singer?" scoffed Barnaby. "Sheeps bleat, don't they?" "What is an opera exactly?" asked Baby Ted. "It's like a play," said his friend. "But instead of talking, people sing and wave their arms about. If your father's cousin is a sheep, he will have to wave his legs about, won't he?" Just then a big, gleaming silver car appeared in the driveway of Uppercrust Villa. At the wheel was a man in uniform with a peaked cap on. He stopped the car, climbed out, and opened the door at the back. Out shot a large bear who wore a flapping velvet cloak and a flashing diamond stud in one ear. What a terrible journey! What dreadful bumpy roads! I feel quite sick. Air! I must have air!" Mrs. Teddington had come from the house, followed by the maid. She walked towards the gasping bear and held out her arms to him. "Welcome, cousin. Come inside and relax on the sofa. Mabel will fetch you a pot of tea." "Brandy, dear lady. I must have brandy to settle my stomach, you know." "This," said Mrs. Teddington, dismissing Mabel to prepare tea, "is my son, Baby Ted, and this is his friend, Barnaby. Shake paws with your uncle, Baby Ted." "Oh, horrors!" cried the big bear. "Not uncle, please. It makes me sound so old. Cousin Teddington will do nicely." "I thought Papa said he was a sheep," said Baby Ted. "Papa said that Cousin Teddington was the black sheep of the family." Mrs. Teddington's face went quite red. She looked like a furry tomato. "Go away," she ordered Baby Ted. "I'll deal with you later." Barnaby snorted with laughter. "Every family has a black sheep," he said, when they were out of earshot. "My mother says my Uncle Bertie is one. It means someone who is different from the rest of the family, someone who does naughty things." Baby Ted had been very disappointed, but now his face brightened again. "Do you think Cousin Teddington does naughty things?" he said. "He looks as if he might." At dinner that evening, Cousin Teddington waved away the special blancmange that cook had spent the afternoon complaining about. "No, no, not blancmange. It is made with milk, you see. Milk affects my voice so. What would the great Bear Baroli say? And no coffee. I would be awake all night. Just a little elderflower water, if you please." "Who is Beary Brolly?" asked Baby Ted, spooning cream onto his extra helping of gooey pud. Cousin Teddington threw back his head with a great roar of laughter and slapped Baby Ted so hard on the back that he choked. "Bear Baroli, my child. He conducts the orchestra, the men and women who play the harps, the violins, the cellos. Tomorrow you will hear it all." Cousin Teddington spent most of the night going to the bathroom and gargling, and he spent most of the next day in bed. At 4 in the afternoon, Baby Ted took him in a tray. There was a pot of tea, but no milk jug, just a slice of lemon. Cousin Teddington was sitting up in bed doing voice exercises. He wore gold-coloured silk pyjamas. The diamond stud flashed in his ear, and around his neck hung a silver chain. "Are you feeling nervous?" asked Baby Ted. "About singing with the great Bear Brolly?"
"Nervous? Never!" boomed Cousin Teddington. "Not while I have my little Elif."
He pointed to the silver chain. Don't you mean elf?" asked Baby Ted, peering.
"No, boy, I mean Elif. That is what the good woman called it, the woman from Ireland, who I saved from drowning."
"Did you jump in and rescue her?" asked Baby Ted, impressed.
"No, I tell the captain of my yacht to. She was very grateful. She said, "Here is a little lucky elf for you, sir. Wear this round your neck, and your voice will never run dry, but be as mellow and flowing as the river Liffey. Now, my boy, it's time for me to dress."
Baby Ted stared at the silver chain. "But, where is it?"
"Where is what?"
"The little elf. I can see the silver chain, but there's no charm on it."
"What?" roared Cousin Teddington, leaping out of bed. "No little elf! I must have my little elf! I cannot perform without him!"
And he started pulling all the sheets and blankets off the bed and throwing them to the floor.
"Don't just stand there, boy. I might have dropped it downstairs, or in the garden, or in the car. Tell my driver to search the car. Tell your servants to search the house. I have to leave for the opera in an hour's time. Suffering sopranos, I cannot perform without my little elf."
For the next hour all was pandemonium at Uppercross Villa. Barnaby arrived with his mother and father, all dressed up in their best clothes. They joined in the search, but the little elf could not be found.
"I could be anywhere," said Cousin Teddington's driver. "On the way here he kept stopping every 5 minutes for a breath of air. It could be in the middle of a wood or a field somewhere."
"Don't say that!"
shrieked Cousin Teddington. He took 6 white pills from a silver box and swallowed them.
"The great Barbarolli is waiting. What am I to do?"
"Wait a minute,"
cried Baby Ted, as the big silver car was driven to the door of Uppercross Villa.
"Please give me a minute. I've had an idea."
He was away for more than a minute. 5 minutes ticked by. Cousin Teddington sat on the sofa, his head in his paws, groaning and refusing to get into the car. Mr. and Mrs. Teddington paced up and down. Barnaby's mother was so upset that the feathers in her headband wilted. Then Baby Ted appeared with a large dish in his paws. On the dish quivered the remains of a blancmange. Baby Ted dabbled his paws in the pink wobbly mess and pulled out a silver charm.
"My little elf!"
cried Cousin Teddington, grabbing the charm and kissing it. Then he threw his arms around Baby Ted and kissed him too. "Oh, well done!" beamed his mother. She hung the charm on the silver chain and fastened it round Cousin Teddington's neck. Smiling happily, he leapt into the car and shot off towards the opera house. A great hush fell as the red velvet curtains were drawn back. The great Barbarolli flexed his arms, and the orchestra poised to play. A bear in a long dress, wearing a helmet, lay on top of a mountain. Flames flickered around the mountain. Cousin Teddington, in breastplate and coloured tights, began to sing. His voice soared wonderfully, rich and warbling as a mountain stream. Now and then the footlights reflected the sparkle of a diamond ear stud, the glow of a silver chain. Baby Ted was spellbound.
"He has such a wonderful voice," he squeaked. "I had no idea he could sing so well."
"Thanks to you," whispered Barnaby. "But what will he do when he finds out it isn't his little elf?"
"He won't find out,"
whispered back Baby Ted.
"Not until after the show. He can't see underneath his own neck. Anyway, when he finds out that one little elf works as well as another, it won't matter, will it?"
"I suppose not," shrugged Barnaby, as the music soared to dizzy heights. "Just don't tell him it came out of a Christmas cracker. That's all."